So did you know that over 2 billion people across the world use online shopping? It is a massive, massive market. And here's the scary thing is that there are 7 trillion cyber-related breaches, attacks that occur because of online shopping. But yet cybercrime costs consumers, costs people who shop online over $7 trillion annually. That is insane. Yes, online shopping is extremely convenient, but you have to make sure that you are keeping proper precautions to ensure that you are not a victim of a cybercrime when you're shopping online. Thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Emilio, and this is Moonlock, where we do cybersecurity technology for humans. In this video, we're talking about online shopping and things that you can be putting in place to ensure that you are not a victim of cybercrime when you are shopping online. As always, do remember to also click on that subscription button, click on the bell so that you don't miss out on any of our future video releases. Now, of course, online shopping has transformed the way that we shop. Long gone are those days where you have to go down to the shop to get absolutely everything. You don't have to go to the mall, to your grocer to buy things anymore. You can get almost everything online now. But as a result of that, you need to make sure that you're putting the right precautions in place, because now more than ever, because there are so many people shopping online, you need to be aware of cyber criminals. You need to be aware of the scams that these people put in place to trick you into buying things from potentially malicious websites. You need to be aware of websites that sometimes are compromised. You need to make sure that you're using payment methods that are also secure. And of course, online shopping ramps up even more when it comes to holiday time, of course. But as a result of that, scams also ramp up a fair bit more. So how can you shop securely? How can you make sure that when you are buying online from any of the stores, that you are secure in your transaction? You're putting in your credit card, you're putting in your payment details. How do you make sure that those details are not compromised? How do you make sure that the website that you are on is okay? Does it look fishy, or is it okay to shop there? One thing that I always recommend is try to use safe payment methods. Yes, there's a lot of websites that are going to be asking for your credit card details. All right, and we'll touch on that in a little bit. But if you have the option to use a safe payment method, such as PayPal, I use PayPal a lot. PayPal guarantees that you're going to be secure when you are transacting. And the great thing is sometimes if you are a victim, PayPal can help you out with refunds from time to time. And outside of PayPal, you've got Alipay, you've got Stripe, you've got other services that can guarantee that you are more safe when you are shopping. Now, if you do want to use a different form of payment method, of course, as I said, using a service like PayPal is really important, but you want to also make sure that the website itself is legitimate. The website itself is trusted. Sometimes you do have to go and buy very unique items from a website that may not be widely known. But there's a few things you can look out for. Firstly, is the website legitimate? Does it have a proper domain name? This is the little URL, the website address at the very, very top. Does it look legitimate? Importantly, does it have at the very, very start a HTTPS? S stands for secure. Now, this just means that if you are going to be transacting anything, any form of payment, that you want to make sure that every single website has that little S at the end of it. Do never make a payment on a website that doesn't have that. If it just has HTTP, don't do that. The other thing you can look out for is a little lock symbol. Different browsers are going to have this on a different location, but make sure that your browser has a little lock symbol that guarantees that that website is a lot more secure. Now, what this S means is that behind the scenes, it has what's called a SSL certificate. That means that a certificate has been purchased through a signed certificate authority and has been applied against that particular website, ensuring that that traffic is encrypted when you are making a payment method. So this is one additional thing that you can look out for. Now, one thing to have a think about is make sure that when you are online, that you are connected to a good, secure network, right? If you're doing this at home, your network at home is probably okay. If you're doing it at work, it's probably okay. But if you're out on the road, if you're in a public space and you're connected to a public network, if you are at a hotel and you're connected to their network, just take those extra precautions because you don't know what those networks are doing. You don't know what those networks may be able to see from your computer. If you have the ability to connect over a VPN when you're on a network, that adds an extra layer of protection. Whenever you are shopping online, there's always the standard stuff that you want to make sure that you're using a good, strong, secure, long, complex password, that you're using MFA, multi-factor authentication, where you can. These are a given, right? So if you have the ability on a website to actually set up a proper account and authenticate yourself and it looks pretty secure, you're a little bit more safe. If you're on a website and you ever get a banner, you ever get a pop-up, I'm sure you've seen these, asking you to go and buy something. You've got a virus, go and buy this. You may think, that looks legitimate. Be very, very careful. Look out for the deals. Look out for these big banners to say, you need to buy this right now, because sometimes they may not be legitimate. As I said before, making sure that the website that you are going to be using is a legitimate website. Verify the reviews, verify the ratings, the customer reviews. Do some Googling. This is something that I love to do. If the website that I want to buy something from, I'm not sure about, go into Google and type in that website name and then fraud, or does it look fishy? Is this legitimate? And you're going to find commonly other people who have shopped on those websites, and sometimes you may find some signs if that website is a little bit suspicious. If it's suspicious, better safe than sorry. Do not shop there. Go and find your product from somewhere else. And always be monitoring your financial records. This is something that a lot of people unfortunately ignore and avoid, is when they make payments or they're just not regularly logging in to their bank. They're not looking at the transactions that have been made on their credit cards. Check that out and have a good service potentially with for example, your credit card provider, where they can notify you of weird, fraudulent-like activity that may be happening on your account. So for example, I'm based in Australia. I have my credit card set to only a few specific countries allowed to do transactions. So for example, if somebody's making a transaction from a country that I have not authorized, the transaction will just fail, will not even go through, and then my bank will inform me that that is the case. So set up, if you have the ability, trusted places only. Certain limits, right? Setting a credit card limit to actually say I can only allow a transaction of this amount, so that if your details happen to be compromised, they can't make significant transactions. So ultimately, online shopping is here to stay. It's not going away, and it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Every single year, it's going to get bigger and bigger. And as a result of that, the risks are also going to get bigger. The attacks, the hacks on those websites against you as a consumer are only going to intensify. So you need to look out for the signs. If it looks fishy, if it looks suspicious, err on the side of caution. If you're not sure that this is legitimate, best to not transact there, because you don't know what could be happening behind the scenes. So always be very, very cautious when you are shopping online. Just look out for those small, subtle signs. So do you know somebody who's been scammed online? Or have you yourself been a victim of being scammed online? Why don't you let us know down below in the comments? Let us know if you have some other suggestions or some tips around what you do yourself to make sure that you are protected. And hey, as always, I would love it if you click on that subscription button, click on the bell so that you don't miss out on any of our video releases. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next video.